So, and I know you're very big about just taking it one day at a time, not looking too far in the future. But does this series feel bigger? Does it feel more critical than any series you guys have played so far?
Well, I got to say no. I got to say just as big, right? Every game is important this season. And our responsibility is to win every game. And there's nothing bigger than tonight's game. We got to see it like that. If we start seeing more than one game today, like that's when we can become a little anxious and just try to do too much. So we can't do anything more than focus on this game tonight. So it's the approach that we're going to be thinking. I know you asked about the day-to-day thing. That's how we've done it all year, and that's what we're going to keep on doing it. We know we're facing a team that's gotten very hot lately, playing, and there's some guys that are swinging a hot bat right now, and then they're gaining some momentum in the standings, as everyone's aware of the standings. Right at this point in August, everyone's kind of more aware of how the standings are versus April, May, June, those months. But our approach towards how we get prepared, like, it shouldn't change. I mean, it's tonight's game against Kyle Gibson and their lineup, and nothing more than that. So that's how we're approaching it.
Thanks.
Next question is from Tim Healy.
Hi, Luis. How much is JD Davis's hand bothering him?
I don't think it's bothering him right now. He swung a lot earlier than BP. I mean, he went through a lot in this hand. I don't know if it's like 100%, but I don't know if anyone's 100% at this point in baseball in August. So, but he does extra work. He takes a lot of swings. He hit velo against the machine. So if his hand was bothering him, I don't think he does that. But he's fine. That's why he was able to play for us yesterday. He's not in today because we won BR against Gibson. We won BR at third. We're going to keep Baez at short, and we want McNeil back in the lineup.
What do you like about VR against Gibson?
Well, they faced each other in the past. I think BR is like 6-for-11 against him, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. And just having a shortstop at third with Marcus Stroman, who's a ground ball pitcher, and they have some significant righties there that can hit the ball on the ground. That's what we're balancing. So the history in the matchup and having BR's glove, like those two things blend well, I think, to put him in the lineup.
And will you have Edwin Diaz today?
That's the possibility. That's a possibility for us to have him. We talked last night. He told me that he intended to come in today. So he's not here yet. So once we get a sense if he's here, then we'll probably have a corresponding move for that.
Thank you.
Next question is from Justin Toscano.
Hey, Luis. Yesterday you talked about your guys' approach and mentality against fastballs and your performance against them. How do you improve upon something like that? Like, what things can you do specifically mid-season to improve that?
You talk about it. We have all the resources here to see the opposing pitcher's tendencies and the percentages of secondary pitches that they use, and we could be leaning too much towards those percentage when it comes down to secondary pitches and usage in particular counts. That doesn't mean necessarily that they're going to use it against our hitters in general. Like, they'll have a pitching plan against our hitters specifically or individually. So I think having that fastball mentality is one of the things that helps the most, even though you're aware of those percentages. If you're ready to hit a fastball, I think you're ready to hit any pitch or to recognize any pitch and lay off any pitch. So that was kind of like my what I was trying to say when I was talking about the fastball mentality and just being ready for fastballs. It seems like, not from having conversations with the guys about it, that we got away from our fastball mentality at times.
Thank you.
Next question is from Tim Britton.
Hey, Luis, you've played Nito a bit more behind the plate. I think it's an even split over the last 20 games or so. What's gone into that thought process with the playing time there?
Yeah, we're giving Nito some playing time. I talked to McCann, telling him that we are going to get Nito involved as well. He's caught well. He's swung well for us. Mac has done it too, but we're basically having I don't want to say splitting time, but Nito's getting more playing time because we want to keep him active. I think he's been swinging the bat well. He drove in a run the other day for us. He put some good swings, and we're looking at more for him tonight as well. I also like Nito with strum and sinker. Nito's really good with the low pitches as well, receiving, and so they both go well tonight. That's where the decision is coming to giving him a little bit more playing time.
Earlier in the season, when you split them for a little bit, McCann got hot offensively right after that. Is the hope that maybe that can spark him a little bit too?
We didn't talk about that this time. We didn't talk about him. I think he's thrown the bat well over the last week. Even though he hasn't gotten many results in the last 3 games that he's cut, I think he hit that double down the line. That's probably the one knock he's got. But I didn't give him that. I didn't tell him like go work extra, which is what the message was back in May, I believe, when we were in Tampa. That we talked about him getting the extra time, spending the extra time with the hitting coaches to get back into his rhythm, and he did. He went and did it. But this time that wasn't the message. I just told him that Nito will be catching a little more, not necessarily more than him. I didn't say that, or one-on-one. But we'll communicate day to day on who's catching the next day.
Thanks.
Next question is from Disha Dozar.
Hey, Luis. Yesterday you said you kind of wouldn't have a problem with the team kind of feeling it after the loss as long as they flushed it before today's game. Just as a whole, was yesterday after the loss one of the lowest moments you've seen the team? And how can that sort of disappointment almost serve as an advantage, sort of fuel the fire heading into today?
Yeah, no. So after the game, it's not the lowest I seen the team. I want to say that the most frustrating loss that we had was the one in Pittsburgh that I saw the guys really, Diaz very emotional. Like he was really mad after that game in Pittsburgh when Stallings hit the walk-off grand slam. But I mean, a little time later, everyone was just neutral once again. So yesterday, everyone was down because it was a tough loss. But once again, a little time later, everyone was neutral, and I think everyone had their eyes on Philly. So we got on our plane, and everyone was doing what they do, and we're here, and everyone's doing what they do every day. We're ready to play the Phillies tonight.
Thanks.
Ian O'Connor's next.
Luis, your team obviously has been on top of the division for most of the season. Do you think from an emotional or a psychological standpoint, it's important to not surrender first place? And if not, why not?
I mean, that can't get in our heads. That's just outside what we have to do here. And that's our task in hand. The ultimate goal is to make the playoffs, right, in the regular season. And then after that, we go and fight, and everyone wants to win the World Series, right? Be the champion. But the task in hand now is to win every day, and that's what we have to do tonight. But if we go into the game just thinking of the standings and what are we losing, what's it's just not healthy, I think, for what we want to accomplish in tonight's game. Hitters got to worry about the opposing pitcher and what pitchers are looking for. Pitchers got to worry about a pitching plan, I guess, against all those really good big league hitters that we're going to see tonight. So there's no room for that thought process, I think, in our team on a day-to-day basis. I think there's only room to focus in the game, and I've been consistently saying that since day one, and I'm going to stay firm thinking of that. So we can't think of the standings on where we are, or where we're losing, or what we're gaining. when we're ready to play a major league game. So that's where I stand.
Luis, thank you for your time this afternoon.
Thanks, E. See you guys.
Members of the media, this concludes today's Mets pregame Zoom. We will send out a link for the in-game for the post-game Zoom. Take care, everyone.